Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Hey, LeRon.
What's up, Corey?
Hey, LeRon. Guess what?
What?
We hit 1,000. We hit 1,000 subs
What?
on YouTube.
1,000.
subs.
1,000.
Yep. 1K.
All
Unless that
right.
just means like one kid subscribed. I don't know.
All right.
I
So
hope
now
not.
what?
Kid should be
Now
watching
what?
this. I don't know. Now we play the game. Did you ever see South Park? This is the World of Warcraft episode.
I've never seen that episode of South Park you're talking that you just referenced.
Yeah,
Those are the
I've
two
seen that
best
one.
episodes. Speaking of
I swear-
seeing,
I
we
swear
also
of all
see.
I swear, of all the movies and television you don't watch, you watch South Park.
I haven't watched South Park in forever, but I'm saying when that episode came out in like 2010, I was watching South Park, and that was a really funny episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, speaking of 2010, also here's PK Power Pat Klein.
Yeah, those were the good days.
What were
The
you doing in
2000,
2010?
I was working at a bank in 2010.
A bank, you say?
A bank.
A bank.
Was it a bank? 2010. No, wait, no. Yes, no. I was ending the bank career and going back to school.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Back to school. Back to
So
school.
that's where I was. I was in between ending a bank career and going back to school, so that I
Nice.
could actually get a real job.
Nice. Cool. Well, hey, look who it is. Look who's in the chat. It's that Nick guy from WAC and Beyond.
Oh, Nick, you want
It's
to
that
join
Nick
us?
guy.
You want to join us? That's one of the topics tonight. You want to join us?
Wait, HL3 imminent. What does that mean? Half-Life 3?
Half-Life 3.
Keep dreaming.
Come on, Nick.
It's never
Come
coming
on,
out.
Nick. Crash the show. Aw.
It's never coming out. Half-Life 3 doesn't exist. It's never coming out. They're lying to you.
Because Gabe dies.
Gabe only lets his internal employees play Half-Life 3.
We don't want Gabe to die.
No. Gabe is providing. You know, Gabe is doing the work. Speaking of work,
To me, Gabe is kind of like the JR or the George R.R. Martin of the game world.
why? Because he
Where
looks like him.
Well, there's a bit of that, and also the fact that, he started off these really big projects that he's never going to finish, and instead works more on the publishing side now.
Well, he makes more money doing the other thing.
Exactly, but, that wasn't what made him famous.
Yeah. Well,
People
what
just
made him
wanted to
famous was he
finish.
left Microsoft.
Yeah, that's what made him famous.
Still,
Oh, man.
these guys could learn to finish their duties. The things that they
Duty.
owe to the public.
He said duty.
Yep,
So,
I did say duty.
yep. Anyways, speaking of duty, it is our duty to talk about video games. We should talk about what we've been playing. Pat, I'm asking you
Yep.
first. What have you been
What
playing?
you ask? What have I been playing?
Yeah,
Well, I have played a few games.
a few games.
So I'm really, I've actually beat 3 games over the last week. I'm
Ooh.
quite proud of myself.
What did you?
I beat Dispatch. The last 2 episodes came out, and that game was freaking amazing.
Nice.
I highly recommend, if you ever liked a Telltale game, give this game a shot. It is a joy to play. And I loved the ending that I got. It felt perfect with the choices that I made.
Nice.
And I wish I remember looking at this during the Metacritic draft. I'm like, should I go for this one? I don't know, and I regret not going for it. It's not only because that it is getting like 90s right now on Metacritic. So,
Cool.
Great game.
Nice.
Great game.
That's that Telltale style episodic thing, right? I heard it was better though.
It's good. Like it's hilarious. I mean, it's got a lot of humor, adult humor. It's got some good emotional storytelling. The characters are like phenomenal. They work well with each other for being a bunch of like misfit superheroes, and it just wraps everything up perfectly. It is a great game.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think if anyone's go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's loaded on my it's loaded on my ROG Ally, but right now like Final Fantasy Tactics has its hooks deep in me. Like I'm getting into into the meta right now.
The meta.
I mean, Dispatch isn't a very long game. You could probably beat it in like 6 to 8 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I might actually take a break this and play it this weekend. Just straight front to back play it.
I mean, if you think Final Fantasy Tactics can hook your claws into you, Dispatch, I think the episodic format for Dispatch works insanely well for it. Like it treats itself like it's a TV show. So you'll have like episodes kind of end on like those little cliffhanger moments, and where you just kind of want to pick up the next episode to continue on to see what happens.
Nice.
And the episodes are pretty. They're not longish, right? Yeah.
No. The thing that makes them nice and short is the fact that other than the Dispatch game inside of it, all the game is cutscenes. With you making choices or QTE events, which you can disable if you don't want to do that. Instead of like where Telltale's you kind of explore it and like check things out and stuff, you don't do that in this game. So it cuts out a little bit of that fluff, but I think it works to its advantage because when you're not in the actual Dispatch game, which I personally enjoyed. I've heard some people are like, they'd rather just have focus on the story, but I felt like the Dispatch game like were fun little puzzles and trying to figure out who you wanted to put and send off to whatever crime that was going on in hopes that their stats would be where the little random indicator is going to hit to say whether or not you succeeded. But the story is just phenomenal, and your choices really do matter in the game. From my understanding, there are about 6 main endings with variations on it, depending on choices that you make throughout the game.
Interesting.
Yep.
I've heard good things.
I speak good things.
I speak good things. I might give it a shot. You're playing that on what, PlayStation, I'm assuming?
Yep. It's PlayStation and PC only.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising, but
Unless
the
you became a
success of this
PC
game
gamer
is
overnight.
yeah. No, this game is too successful that we will see it hit the other systems.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
As well as a physical release sometime in 2026. It's when you hit like over 1 million players in like 10 days on something of a brand new IP of this kind of style, that's a success.
Yeah. It definitely is.
Other games, yep. I finished Power Wash Simulator 2 and I platinumed it. Also another freaking amazing game. Perfect Zen game. Can't wait for the DLC.
Nice.
But I also
Simulator.
worked on. Yep. I also finished one of my backlog games that I said I was going to work on this year. Dragon Quest 3. Finally, after 20 plus years since the Game Boy Color version came out, I finally beat it.
Ooh.
I can check it off my list.
Nice.
I will say it's probably my least favorite Dragon Quest out of the entire series, but the remake at least did a very good job at adding some new stuff to it and making it look very pretty.
Nice.
But it's still, in my opinion, the weakest of the series. But I love how they tied it into the other ones. Or into 1 and 2. Like, they added some little more, like, from what I understand, and in 1 and 2, like, they added some more elements that kind of knit all 3 of them together in a more coherent trilogy. So,
but 3 is the first game in the trilogy, right? Technically.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why they came out with 3 first, and then 1 and 2. So that's kind of the order. All 3 of them take place. All 3 of them have a continent called Elfgard, which is shared among all of them. So that's kind of the tie-in. And now they have like a chronological event going on where the hero in 3 is the legendary hero from, 1 that everyone speaks of. And then 2 is, I want to say it's like 100 years later, but I can't remember exactly how many years later. And then finally, I picked up SpongeBob Titan of the Tides today.
Ooh.
Because I secretly really like the SpongeBob platform games, and this is actually a really fun one. It's of course got the classic SpongeBob humor. It's got it's very pretty. I like that you can now switch between SpongeBob and Patrick on the fly, and that each one kind of has their own unique abilities to use on the map. So it encourages you to use them both.
Okay.
Things like Patrick can like burrow under the ground and like unlock like either like dislodge treasures that are stuck there or kind of go into these like little underground holes that shoot him up. Where SpongeBob has a karate kick that allows him to go flying and hitting faraway obstacles. Are like 2 of the different abilities that they have. The worlds themselves, they have like quests going on. They feel it's a good mix of like openness in the zone, but very level focused as well. I would probably relate it to maybe a little bit like a Mario Odyssey in that regard. Just because once you're done, you can just kind of explore at your pace of that particular zone and get all the treasure chests and the side quests and the jellyfish and all the other little things that you can find there. But It's been fun. It's been good so far.
Nice. Cool.
Yep. And that's what I got.
Nice. LeRon, what about you?
Well, I mentioned one of them earlier. That would be Final Fantasy Tactics, the remake. I am definitely stalled right now because I am still playing the game, but I am stalled on making progress into chapter 2 because I forgot like there's what are they called? They're called request not the bounty system. What is it? When you can send your character, when you can send your troops out, expeditions, you send them out. You can send them out for XYZ amount of days, and you just got to do something, like roam the map or whatnot, and then come back to the tavern and get them to report. When they report, they wind up getting special items and stuff like that. It also gives them a slight boost on their stats and all this stuff. And I forgot that when you go from chapter to chapter, a lot of those expeditions go away. So now I'm stuck in chapter 2, trying not to progress the story too much because I have like 6 characters I'm trying to raise right now in certain levels, which means I have to go through the job classes and all that stuff to get them the right way. Because certain expeditions, you need certain job classes. Like there's one that you need orators for it. There's another one you need summoners with a hook character being, so basically like send two summoners out. And I think a hook character is like the white mage, stuff like that, and this guarantees your success. The cool thing is though, like you know, like if you fail the expedition, like you can just start it back over, but I'm trying to do it in one shot because I've got enough on my plate right now, and I'm trying to progress through the game. I feel like this game is doing what it has always done to me, which I've always enjoyed, and that's sucking my time, which I'm not complaining about it. But I'm like, man, I want to move on to other games. So yeah, I need to do that. But like I said, I probably will take the weekend off in Tactics and do Dispatch, because yeah, I bought the last week after Pat was talking about it. Like I went ahead and bought the I went ahead and spent $30 and bought it and just waited for the and was waiting for all the episodes to finally release. And then
Yep.
and then back in the swing on Tekken 8. I feel like it's like a like that.
It's like that's your comfort game.
I think it is starting to be my comfort game. Okay, so I was on YouTube a couple of days ago, and I was watching something, like basically about how to get better at games and stuff like that. And Tekken wound up being, and Tekken and fighting games wound up being one of the topics, about games that like people like work their asses off to get good at them and stuff like that, or not good but better. I'm not gonna say good because there's only a small amount like of elite that are like the best. Those are the people we always see on the esports circuits, and all that stuff. Everybody else is above average to excellent, stuff like that. And it was funny how they broke it down, like like for certain types of games, when you look at like esports games, like fighting games, RTSs, Dotas, all those. A lot of people basically, they do log a lot of hours playing the game, but the second half of their time in is looking at resources, particularly YouTube. Like, so like, let's say you spend, you know what? Actually, where's my? Let me open up Steam real fast here. Steam will tell me exactly how many hours I put into Tekken 8, and this is since the game came out. I have played 455.3 hours of Tekken 8 since this game came out. When did this game release? This game released in. It released like a year and a half ago. Like it's not a new game. It's not a new game because we're in the second season pass now for this game. Second season pass for this game. Yeah.
It's about as many hours as I put into Power Wash Simulator 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So but my actual time devoted to Tekken is a lot more than 455 hours, because like one of the things I do is I watch YouTube videos. I'm on websites looking at like stats and stuff, to try and get better, like from frame data to like how to properly punish with certain characters and stuff like that. So I would say honestly, like, and I wish YouTube had a thing that you could kind of like go in there and look at your personal analytics of like what you watch and stuff like that. I guarantee you, like, it's my 455 hours of playtime on the game added with like the time that I would spend, time I spend like watching videos, doing strategies, figuring things out and stuff like that. I probably have more like not 900 hours. I probably would say I have somewhere in the realm of 750 hours, total. Because like in my idle time, like one of the things I do is like I have like whenever I'm like at work at my desk and stuff, I'll have YouTube open and I'll have like match video. You guys have seen that, like when we're getting ready for podcasts and stuff like that. I'm like, down forward one, all this stuff. I'm watching a fight video, like watching stuff to see what works and what I should stop doing, because guess what? I make some very boneheaded mistakes when I play Tekken. Actually, when I play any game, I make boneheaded mistakes. It doesn't matter if it's Tekken, Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy. It does not matter. Metal Gear Solid, it doesn't matter. But yeah. So yeah, I've logged a lot of hours. I don't think I can rival like Patrick or Stoy in like the simulator games, but I've logged a lot of hours in certain games.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I hear you there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm playing. I've last week I talked about that show Boots, which basically follows like a gay kid that enlists in the Marine Corps during the height of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Like I have 2 episodes left to finish the show. I kind of took my time watching it. It's only 8 episodes long, so I literally could have binged it in a weekend, but I didn't want to do that. Like I want to like absorb it and stuff like that. So I'm almost done with that. And my pickup, which I mentioned a few minutes ago, like my pickup is Dispatch, which I'm going to devote some time to it this weekend.
Nice.
Can't wait to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, like that's definitely going to be. It's on my ROG Ally loaded up right now. Like I'm gonna be like just laid out, just playing that game. And no, I'm not going to turn the QTE events off. I think that's one of the things that makes these type of games like fun. Like like from Heavy Rain to Detroit Become Human to Wolf Among Us. Like I love the QTE events in these types of games.
Yeah, the QTEs aren't super complicated. Not like Heavy Rain, Detroit kind of QTEs. Like these are pretty simple.
Okay, good.
They just kind of
it's more
the only issue.
It's more to make sure you've been paying attention.
Yeah, that's the thing. You might accidentally just be kind of focused on what's going on, and all of a sudden it'll just pop up, and you're like, "Holy crap!" And yeah, the final fight scene or the fight in the final episode had me do that several times where I'm just like watching everything that's going on the screen, but then sometimes prompts pop up and it's like, yikes.
Oh boy.
Hurry. Type them in.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, I mean, I knew I wanted to play the game when I saw one of the original when I saw the original reveal trailer for it. But then it was just one of those situations where I actually forgot that the game was coming until it dropped.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So yep, that's everything that I've got going on this past week in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, he says. Well, I guess that means it's my turn, huh? I've been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I'm enjoying myself. It's not like the best game I've ever played, but like I feel like it's the game I needed right now because it's a game you can kind of pay attention to, like the story parts, but then turn your mind off while you're kind of just mashing the Y and X buttons. It's cool. I really like the story elements of it. I like playing as the different characters in the Zelda universe, at least this version of it. I still think the Zonai are weird looking creatures, but they are powerful.
Like them long arms and tiny legs.
They're just like bipedal goat people, and it bothers me.
They are dragons, sir. Dragon goat like people.
But I do really I really like the story elements, especially the Korok that you play as at one point. I forget what his name is. Calamo, I think his name is. And he travels around with a Zonai construct, and they just kind of fight together, which is kind of cool. And there's 2 kind of parallel stories going on at the same time, which is cool.
Isn't Calamo just like OP?
Yeah. I'm just like, what? He's a Korok. Like, I'm taking down these giant, big, sludgy bokoblin monsters, and like I just jump on a mushroom and then do like essentially Final Fantasy attacks on him. Like I don't know, man. It's kind of funny, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It makes me want to go back and play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom again. honestly. But it also makes me want like a Zelda game, like a full on Zelda game where you play as Zelda, because I think her abilities that you start kind of unlocking throughout the campaign are really interesting, like the light campaign or the light magic, and basically she wields a yellow lightsaber essentially. So she's basically a Jedi, confirmed. Zelda and Star Wars, same universe. So,
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of it. I've also been playing more Star Wars Outlaws and Plants vs Zombies, but I don't really know how much more I can say about that. I also played a bunch of games with my kids, like Mario Kart and Mario Party, and that's been interesting. But it's kind of it. So yeah, I think we're gonna try to do a spoiler cast on Hyrule Warriors. But we got to finish it first, so we'll see. It took Ed 4.5 years to beat Breath of the Wild, so I'm not counting on it. But
well, I never started, so that means technically, the clock hasn't started ticking for me yet.
Yeah. Well, I'm also possibly planning a spoiler cast for Dispatch. I already got 2 people who want in on it.
Depending on your date, and if I can commit to my word, like I will try to be on with you for that one.
Yeah, no, I would like to try and do it within the next, like, somewhere in this month is what I would like to do.
Nice.
So,
do it. All right. Well, let's move on here. Let's talk about the Steam ecosystem expanding into the Steam box and the Steam frame and the Steam controller to live beside the Steam Deck and Steam on PC. Valve unveiled 3 major hardware devices launching in early 2026. The Steam Machine, the Steam Box, compact cube, 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, apparently, with 4K 60 capability and the full Steam library support. The Steam controller has touchpads similar to the Steam Deck, and it has magnetic thumbsticks. In the Steam frame, which is a lightweight VR headset that you can either plug into a PC or wear wirelessly. So, LeRon, I'm going your way first. Let's start with this Steam box, because that's kind of like the primary thing I want to talk about, especially since it seems to be doing exactly what Microsoft's been trying to do for like 2 years now, and it just kind of did it without trying. Essentially, in terms of building like hardware around a digital ecosystem instead of games for a hardware, essentially.
Of course, I try to look at the stats, and based on I feel like they're more leaks than like concrete things right now. It looks like I would say it's a PS5 Lite. If I were to make a comparison, like what console it definitely sits around. It definitely for the most part, is doing a few things better than the Xbox Series consoles, but that's not saying a whole lot, because the Xbox Series consoles are pretty beefy. Well, the X is. But some of the things that kind of like
when you say PS5 Lite, do you mean PS5 Pro Lite or just original PS5 Lite?
The original PS5 Lite. Okay. So let's see. We don't know what processor is going to have. All it says is a semi-custom AMD Zen 4 six core 12 thread processor. I mean, so I can tell you a PC processor that's relative to that. By AMD, by the way. It's got RDNA 3. Like I know a lot of people out there are going to gloss over this stuff. RDNA 3 is basically a I can't remember which generation it is. I'm so sorry. But it's comparable to like the Ryzen, the actual Ryzen graphics chips that are actually on the CPUs. So so there's that. Here's the thing that already worries me. 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM. Okay, so like I said, this is comparable to a PS5 Lite because a PS5, if I'm not mistaken, has 12 gigs of VRAM. As a matter of fact, let me pull that up right now. I'm sorry, 16 gigs of VRAM. I cut it by a quarter. Yeah,
VRAM's what allows the system to kind of guess what you're going to do and load based on that.
Yeah, that's the main part. It preloads all the textures and stuff like that, so the game just keeps chugging without remember the Nintendo slowdown.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff. Yeah,
I played the Switch.
Now the other thing that's kind of bothersome is it's got 16 gigs of regular RAM for all the processing and all that stuff. I find that kind of weird because the portable handhelds, the PC handhelds, are all coming out with 24 gigs. So why'd they hold themselves back on that one?
To make it more cost effective, maybe.
And as per the course with Steam, with Valve and Steam now with their hardware, there'll be a 512 gigabyte model as well as a 2 terabyte model available. And is running Steam OS, which is the bee's knees as far as all the stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
I am sad that the VRAM is at least not 12 or higher, 12 gigs of RAM or higher, because like the consoles, the Series X as well as the PS5, are all like doing 16 gigs of RAM and VRAM, and that actually set the standard for actually it pretty much set the standard for PC gaming. Like because like developers started making these games and they were making them spec'd out to the consoles, so the consoles were demanding upwards of 16 gigs of VRAM. And so, like us guys with cards that were not beefy and were less than 16 gigs of RAM, PC gamers started having problems playing these games, and it wasn't just because of optimization options, stuff like that, So I'm very shocked. I feel like I don't know, like we don't even know the price point, but I'm wondering if they're trying to keep this an affordable price, which I feel like it's not going to be that affordable. I mean,
I feel like the 512 will be the quote unquote affordable one, and then the 2 terabyte one will be like the premium one, right? Because
yeah. So my thoughts on it is that I like the design. But I gotta take a wait and see attitude because I'm glad I took a wait and see attitude with the Xbox ROG Ally X. I'm glad I took a wait and see attitude on that one because I was legit getting ready to take my money I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, but I do like the design, and you know what? I gotta say, I feel like it's pretty poetic that Microsoft is like, oh, we're slowing down on being in the console biz, and Valve's like, here I come to save the day.
I know, that's crazy. I think it's crazy that Valve is just I don't know. I feel like there's been so much hate for Microsoft lately, not just Xbox, but Microsoft in general. Mm-hmm. I know people are really sick of Windows, and we saw Apple laptops kind of spike in the last quarter. As opposed, Windows is still ahead if you want to count that way, but people are just really sick of dealing with Windows, and Xbox is not really great at this messaging thing, and it seems like they're taking forever to do the thing that they want to do. And it just really feels like Valve and Sony are beating them to the punch, right? Like, here's our ecosystem, here's our devices that you can play on. Their engagement devices are not necessarily like, I mean, I don't think Valve expects to sell 100 million units of this Steam box, right? But like,
yeah,
I'm sure they want to sell I'm sure if they sell like 10 million of them, they'll be happy, right? Because it's an additive device. It's not necessarily meant to, be the next entry into the console market. But I think it does entice a lot of people who are like looking to abandon the Xbox ecosystem a reason to, move into the PC.
This is their moment to jump ship.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to jump ship, you're either going to choose this or PlayStation, right? And like, you're going to serve one of those ecosystems, and then if you are a Nintendo fan, you'll have a Switch, obviously, but like, that's not doing the same thing. So yeah, I mean, I think Valve is doing something really just crazy.
I don't know if it's crazy. I think it's genius. I think they're.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know, but I mean, I don't mean crazy bad. I just think it's like, man, they're just really like. Gabe must really hate Microsoft. I know that's not true, but it just feels like every rake that Microsoft has stepped on recently, either Valve or Sony are there to like
I said every rake, because it definitely feels like every time.
Dude, it's like a fucking Tom and Jerry cartoon. Like, he runs around the corner and he thinks he's got this great thing, and then he steps on a rake, and then there's another one, and then there's another one, or there's a shovel, or like Wile E. Coyote running into the mountain with the painting on it because he thinks the Roadrunner's running through it. Like, it's insane how dumb. I don't know, man. I don't know, Pat. What do you think? What do you think of this thing?
I mean, I think it's going to be really overpriced for starters. Like, given the fact that it's got the Steam name to it, I would say this thing's going to be at least between $800 to $1,000. And based on what LeRon was saying, it's probably not going to be worth it in that regard.
Yeah, price wise, yeah, I will say that. I'm not going to say it's not worth it, but I don't know. Like there's a part of me. There's a part of me that takes it seriously, but there's also a part of me that's like, I already have a PC. I already have a PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a Switch. I already have a ROG Ally. What else?
You don't want the PC gaming experience in the living room?
Hey, I can just hook my PC up to my damn television.
Yeah, that's probably another thing that I'm kind of worried about this. Like, what's the interface, or like, how's it gonna work? Is this meant to like draw people who play consoles to try and get into PC gaming?
Yeah,
again,
it is.
It falls back to the operating system. Are we working with a Windows versus are we working with something that you just boot up and hear your library of games?
Oh, it's gonna be running on a newer version of the Steam OS that's on the Steam Deck. That we know for sure. Like, everyone complains about Microsoft. On these PC handhelds. I don't have a fucking problem with it, but what do I know? I just work in the IT business, so I know enough about the nuances, of Microsoft stuff. I use the Xbox experience on my ROG Ally, but at the same time, I don't fucking care. Like, there's a part of me that almost wants to uninstall it for the most part, because there's certain things that I do, as a gamer, that sometimes I'm like, oh, I actually need the resources from the operating system side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot, but
what about like optimization? Like, again, one of the things I like about the consoles are that the games are pretty much optimized for the system. I don't have to tweak with the settings other than maybe adjust the gamma.
Well, see, that's
so
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I feel like that's the thing. Like, it's going to like, there are gamers out there that, like, there are going to be gamers out there that have this because they haven't. It's on the Steam Deck, right? That like you just go in your settings, you go in your settings and you toggle a few switches and you're off to the races. And then there's other people's like, oh, I want to min max the hell out of this shit. So like they're going in there, they're tweaking like the absolute dumbest things from foliage sway to like shadows, reflection in the water, and all this stuff. All these devices are trying to get people more into a PC gaming frame of mind, but making it as streamlined as possible. So, for the basic gamer out there, they can just okay, like just change, just toggle 4 different settings, one of 4 different settings, and I'm playing my game. Whereas other people are going to be like, oh, I'm super enthusiast, so like guess what? I want every bit of performance with the best frames possible out there. Which is why 60 frames per second is a sweet spot. For the most part.
Yeah, I'm just saying because when I played a PC game earlier this year, like they put me into a menu that had all these different like options that I had like no clue what half of them even did.
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted to do was get the game to run so that it didn't like stagger.
Yeah.
Or, like drop frames. But for me it was a hassle because I'm like tweaking this. I'm like, okay, maybe if I drop this, the game will actually run a little smoother, but it was a whole bunch of trial and error, and that's what I don't like about the PC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hear you. I trust me. I hear you.
He hears you. He says.
No, here's what I've learned. Because I had to stop this a long time ago, especially when I realized I became a PC gamer. Like I shifted from console to PC gaming. I want to say I think I've officially called myself PC gamer for like the last 10 years. But I know for sure. Like it almost got to a point where it felt like I bought a PS4, I bought a Switch 2, PS5. I almost feel like I wasted my money. Because like the only reason why I'm getting these things are for exclusives, and even when I have the exclusives, I'm barely turning them on. Like I'm playing more games on PC in the PC environment. Stuff like that. Now all that aside, and Nick said it in the chat. Like this box is going to be a tinkerer's heaven. Nick said that. That's not my quote, and I agree with him for the simple fact that we're going to have PC enthusiasts that are going to grab this thing and just like dissect it, and like put it through its paces, see what it's about. Of course, they're going to do things to it. They're going to modify the operating system and all this stuff. And then they're going to push that stuff out into the world and the ecosystem and see if other people like just the casuals like attach onto it and stuff like that. It's like Aladdin, a whole new world. Probably anywhere between $500 $800, based on like the storage and the models,
Yeah. Well, if somebody was looking to move, away from the Xbox ecosystem, would you recommend this to someone who was trying to do that, or would you recommend a PlayStation?
I would recommend it. I would recommend it just because like it is a stepping stone into like helping people figure out exactly how they want to play their games. Like, it gives them a little bit of freedom. Like, like you still have the console experience, like inside the shell of a PC. You do. And like you have like all the options and stuff, to elevate it to a certain extent. Of course, the hardware itself is going to be like the limit or the cap or whatnot. You're not going to be able to have this thing wide the fuck open with like 600 and some odd frames. Like I see how some people have in Counter-Strike Go. Even though like their displays don't even like hit that. But Fraps is showing like 600 plus. Still, it's one of those things like it's like an age of discovery. And for every console gamer out there, there's a new transplant into like the world of PC gaming and stuff like that, and it's like a new discovery every time, especially if they're into it, and they want to see what's going on. Let me see. Nick's saying here the best part is you can technically buy the cheapest version and just upgrade the storage, as they allow you to upgrade it as soon as you get it. And also with Valve, with Valve products, they will not release this unless they know it's going to come out near perfect, and that is true. That's true. Because I think the only complaint with the Steam Deck has been that, outside of the fact that it can't play every game you want to play because of hardware limitations, some games have the anti-cheat thing going on. There's no way around that. Oh, and also the verification system. The verification system, in my opinion, is garbage.
Jeez. Well, I guess we will. I guess we'll see how it does. It's intriguing to say the least, especially if you are already into the whole PC gaming thing and have the Steam Deck, right? Like, I feel like this kind of companion piece is really, I don't know. I think it's kind of a nice thing. But is it going to draw console gamers into the PC hardware, PC gaming stuff? I don't know. But we'll see. I'm interested. I think Valve is always doing something interesting, and this isn't any different. You think Half-Life 3 will be a launch title? Is that what it's going to launch with? Half-Life 3?
Hilarious.
I feel like they could shadow drop Half-Life 3 in like the middle of the night and then break the internet the next morning.
Yeah, they could.
That really would break the internet.
For real.
People would be wondering if that was a joke or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see next year if this thing is going to be, worth it. You know what? LeRon is scared about not being worth it. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond with a creepy companion.
Hero words have never been spoken.
Apparently, Metroid Prime 4 impressions have raised major concerns about the game's new human companions, especially Galactic Federation trooper Miles McKenzie, whose constant chatter, force escort missions, and cringy dialogue critics call distracting and frustrating. A new Nintendo overview trailer confirms Samus will meet and occasionally team up with full cast of human troopers across the game's major areas, assisting them and even reviving them if they fall. While Metroid has included human characters before, fans worry that Beyond's talkative, intrusive companions may undermine the series' signature sense of solitary exploration. I mean, to me, this is just Halo 4 with a Nintendo skin on it.
Every single.
But Halo 4 was like Metroid Prime 2, essentially. So.
Yeah, well, every single person that's played like the early preview, because there was early previews in various places. Australia was one of them, and some other places. Of course, like IGN. Wait, I don't want to lie. I think IGN had their hands on it. I basically
this article is from the IGN preview.
Okay, yeah. I basically got an entire rundown, based on what everybody was saying, about this stuff. And there is a reason why I hate the Nintendo 64 Zelda games.
Why?
There's a distinct reason, like the little sprite character Navi always like freaking yelling at you and stuff. And so I was watching some of these videos, like This Week in Video Games. One of my favorite channels was showing some of the footage they had when they were doing their early playthrough and stuff like that. The dude just talks and talks and talks. Like you're moving around and he'll I think you might want to save, or it's like, didn't you want to check this out before you move on? It's going to kill my immersion for real, because like, number one, I was like, if I want to play Uncharted, I will turn on my PlayStation and play Uncharted. And the sad part is Sully, Elena, all of them, they don't even talk that damn much.
Yeah, I guess for me, it doesn't really bother me that people are talking. I don't I don't know.
It
I mean, I guess it depends on what tone
really
the game is
shouldn't.
going for. Is it going to be an exploration game or is it going to be a shooter? You know, like which direction are they going? You know what I mean? Like, to me, the 2D games are for the isolation, and the like 3D games are more of the, aside from I guess the first one, but like I feel like the 3D games are more open to the idea of there being other characters in it.
The Prime games didn't even have the first 3 Prime games didn't have anything like
3
that.
had a ton of characters in it, I thought.
But
There's like a whole scene, right?
But they
I mean,
weren't.
like
They weren't just. They weren't just a persistent like talking device, though.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need to. I feel like, I don't know. A lot of this team worked on Halo 4.
Metroid games had talked a lot of. Actually, there's been a lot of Metroid that's had talking. The only difference is though is that the talking has been done in cutscenes with Adam being most of the talking lately.
Exactly, and not in a live actual, like, you got boots on the ground, you're controlling the game in real time.
But I don't think, I think people are blowing the Miles thing out of proportion because what they played was a preview, and as the overview mentioned, there are a cast of characters. Miles is only one of them, and he's probably assigned just to one area of the game. He's not going to tell you the entirety of the game.
Well, the major fear is because I also acknowledge that, because like a lot of people said that, yeah, like we only played the parts that, you know, like had Miles featured in it, but they explained that there's a cast of characters and stuff like that you will be interacting and playing with, you know, throughout the game and stuff like that, and they're wondering if this is what it's going to be, you know, which is a valid concern.
I say let them try it out. You know, honestly, if we just kept having the same thing, we're not innovating. And so I appreciate that Nintendo's trying to take Metroid up to the next evolution. Yeah, she's a bounty hunter and she's she's typically just doing these things on her own. But, you know, the game has tried to introduce cast of characters, and, you know, it makes sense that she would probably be working alongside with the Galactic Federation. So, you know, if this doesn't work, okay, they tried it. Then Metroid Prime 5 will just maybe be more solitary.
Yeah. I mean,
but we would not know how good Link's or A Link to the Past would be if we didn't have Link's Awakening first. Or not Link's Awakening, Link's Adventure first.
Yeah, my overall fear, and this is for me a Metroid fanboy, is that it's going to kill my immersion of the game, and that right there has given me pause on buying this game day one, and that sucks. That sucks because every Metroid that's come out, I bought day one. Even the games I did not play immediately, I bought day one.
I feel like
I think it's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a good game.
It probably will be
it's
a good.
Gonna be different, but it's gonna be good.
It probably will be a good game, but like I said, like killing the immersion is going to hurt the fan base.
See, I mean, I guess so, but I feel like, again, I feel like the 3D games have a little bit more wiggle room to be that game of like, oh, there's other characters, there's other, you know, things going on, and then the 2D games are the isolated ones, right? Like that's kind of how I have felt about Metroid Prime overall. You know, like I feel like if you're going to position this as a first person shooter-esque game, you might as well lean into it, especially now, right? Where like Metroid doesn't ever sell, right? Like Metroid Dread sold more than every other 2D Metroid game combined, right? Like Metroid just doesn't sell. It's a fan favorite, but it's not a huge seller. So you look, I'm just wondering if Nintendo is kind of like looking at Metroid Prime to go up against other first-person games. Other first-person games are more action-oriented. I think Nintendo, the one genre Nintendo doesn't have good grasp on is a first person shooter, right? I feel like I don't know. I feel like they could lean into it a little bit more with this. And I know that doesn't really help, right? But like, I don't know. I feel like you get more people in the door with that and make Metroid Prime a bigger series, which ultimately is what they want, right? So,
I could see story parts being, kind of more on rails. However, I feel Metroid's still going to contain the classic Metroid exploration that Metroidvania has been aptly named for. You may have to wait until you're done with certain story parts, but then you could probably go back. In a similar case, Metroid Dread, for example, how that game just kind of led you for a good chunk of the game before it finally lets you kind of go back and forth between the worlds. I think we might be experiencing something like that with Prime 4.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree with Corey. I think they're trying to bring in new blood to the Metroid series and trying to reinvent it so that it's a little more based on other first-person shooters and have more of a squad-based feeling to it. But I still believe they're going to retain the exploration part as well.
I'm sure the exploration part's in there. You guys aren't picking up what I'm putting down. Like
I am picking up
it's the immersion aspect of it. Like maybe they are trying to make it feel like you're less isolated and stuff like that. I get that. That's why they introduced like Adam Malkovich and they introduced other bounty hunters, across the other games and stuff like that. But still, like there was never a persistent voice in your ear. Like the only voice in your ear you usually heard was Samus like grunting or screaming, like when something was going on with her and stuff like that, And that's part of the immersion, Like someone talking at you. That's not the Metroid NES release date.
It was 1986.
86. So for fracking 40 almost
39.
I was going to say for almost 40 years, like we've been used to like Samus and the world. Not Samus, the world and NPCs.
One of the saddest parts of a Metroid game was a companion dying on Samus. The little tiny Metroid from Metroid Prime 3 getting blown away by Mother Brain.
You mean Metroid 3? You said Prime.
Yeah,
you said Prime 3.
Sorry. Yeah. Super Metroid. So maybe watching Miles die in some gruesome manner might provoke emotion for the Metroid fans and be just like the death of baby Metroid again.
Yeah, kill him. Sorry, probably shouldn't say that out loud. Good times though. No, I hear what you're saying, LeRon. I know what Metroid fans want. I think Prime ultimately is not going to be for Metroid fans, in my opinion.
And that's the sad part because Prime is honestly what kept Metroid going for Metroid fans, when there was a serious drought.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying it's going to be the next Donkey Kong Bonanza where people are going to look at the game and be like, that's not my Donkey Kong. But then when they finally play it, they're realizing that this game cared more about the Donkey Kong franchise than any other game in the series.
We will have to find out. I don't know. All I know is this is not day one purchase for me now. And that sucks. They should have.
I'll let you know how it is.
Nintendo should have done what they normally do: hold everything close to their chest and just let us discover it. That's what they should have done on this one, because everybody we have 1,000+ followers now. So everyone, if you're watching this video, sound off in comments or the chat if you're watching it live. If you're a Metroid fan, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know how you feel about this particular revelation here, because I'm not gonna speak for all the fans. I'm just gonna speak for myself as a fan. Like this gave me some serious pause, and I'm sorry. Like it's like I really feel like like I'm doing an injustice by not having this type of faith in it. I really feel that in my soul, but at the same time, I've I've gotten to a point where it's like I'm not just gonna throw money at something I know I'm not going to enjoy.
Yeah.
I feel like we should challenge LeRon here. I feel like if this turns out to be like the best Metroid game in the entire series, LeRon needs to wear like a Princess Peach outfit and say that Nintendo is his absolute favorite company in the world.
I am not going to go that far, but I will. But
how about Bowsette outfit?
No. I'm not gender bending for you guys. I'm not.
Fine, we'll let you be Luigi, but
Yeah, see, I can do that.
Okay, and still say Nintendo's my favorite company in the world.
I won't say that. I will not.
Jeez. Man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like sound off in the chat if you think I'm being way too critical. Sound off in the chat and in the comments. You think I'm being way too critical? I just have this gut feeling, and like it's sad that like I got gut punched when I saw all those reviews come out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
it's okay. I think it's okay. It's okay to be scared or anxious about something you love. I think it is.
No, of course it is. I mean, I'm scared every time a new Destiny expansion comes out, but like the one that comes out in 2 weeks that's Star Wars themed and confusing, but it's fine. But like, what scares you about this title, LeRon, is what excites me about.
Is what's exciting you, which I respect it. I do.
But I'm also not a Metroid super fan like you, right? So like things like that don't bother me.
And trust me, I get it, and I respect that part too. This is why everybody I try to talk to about Monster Hunter. Like I understand if they don't want to do it. So same thing applies here. Like I've got a game. We've got a game here that I should absolutely be loving it just because it is the thing. Just like how Stephanie loves every single Legend of Zelda game, every single one. I should be like this with Metroid, but for some strange reason, this one's like gutting me.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think December 4th is the release date of this game. So
yes, it is.
I'm honestly hoping I don't get overwhelmed with FOMO and wind up buying it the first weekend, because I need to see what's up with this.
Oh, I'm definitely telling you everything about it, LeRon.
If you guys can tell me a truthful and unbiased like critique about the game after the first week, I will get it.
See, the thing about
but if you turn around and you say, yeah, there's some things about this game I don't like, or there's some, or you definitely prove me right about this whole thing with the with the NPC characters, I'll just wind up buying it. I'll just wind up buying it $70 5 years later, because Nintendo games never drop in price.
You are correct. They don't. But I feel like the thing that scares me the most on this thing is the motorcycle crap. What is that?
That too. Everybody's like, what the hell? Everybody's like that. Like I'm legit. Like I'm legit. I wasn't excited for the bike when I saw it. At first, I was intrigued, and then when I kind of saw it in action, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of the sled from Gears of War 5. Come on, people.
Yeah, that was...
Or the motorbike from Tomb Raider. You just drive to your next location.
Wait, the motorbike from Tomb Raider.
Well, I'm thinking of Tomb Raider Underworld. where she's like in Mexico with the motorcycle, and it's just kind of there to really just drive you to set piece in that area.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the new ones. I was like, I don't remember a motorcycle in those games.
I'm thinking Underworld.
Yeah, where's that trilogy at, by the way?
I'm waiting for that. That's got to be the next one.
Well, they just released Tomb Raider Definitive Edition on Switch today, which is like crazy. Switch 1, by the way, not Switch. I mean, they did release a Switch 2 version, but they also released it on Switch 1, which is like, boy, hope y'all ready for that one. But let's move on, because
let's move from this hellscape.
We'll have a lot to talk about Metroid in the coming weeks, months. Probably LeRon will cry and then be happy and then cry again, and it'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see how Miles was his favorite character.
You know what I don't think will be all right? Is freaking Zelda movie.
Why do you not think it's going to be all right? Have you seen those pictures? Those are beautiful pictures.
I saw them moving pictures, and I'm like, eh?
So, in case you missed it, Nintendo did a special direct for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and they did a Nintendo Today picture posting for the Legend of Zelda movie. Mario Galaxy is packed with a lot into the short runtime for the trailer. Chris Melandandri of Illumination showed the film's trailer. Jack Black made an appearance, returning characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser, and Toad. They also included new characters like Rosalina and Bowser Jr. The film is out on April 3rd. Jack Black made an appearance. Brie Larson is playing Rosalina. Benny Safdie is playing Bowser Jr. And to be fair, I think this movie looks much better than the first one, but also, what the hell's going on in this movie? Because there's Mario Odyssey stuff, there's Mario Galaxy stuff, there's Mario 2 stuff, like
there's Mario Wonder stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Bowser Jr. That's literally the first boss battle in Mario Wonder, is that purple mask thing that he's wearing.
Well, they even did like the ninjas, jumping around in the kind of their song setting. Yeah.
So, Pat, what did you think of this trailer?
It was a fun little trailer. It definitely showcased a lot. I enjoyed the humor. I thought the whole Bowser, mini Bowser painting the picture of not Zelda, Princess Peach and him, and Luigi critiquing in the yard about being
Bowser.
good, and Mario's like, it sucks. Yeah. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I think I'm happy that they got Brie Larson. Like, out of all the people they could have gotten, they chose a massive Nintendo fangirl who literally kicked out her boyfriend because her boyfriend said that she was being too intense against the final boss of Super Mario Galaxy.
Wait.
And now we know, like 6 years later,
that's a
or
thing?
whatever, how many years later?
That was a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. That was a thing. Like I forget, I think it was IGN, or it could have been some person reported that Brie Larson, or he had an interview with Brie Larson, and Brie Larson said that she kicked her boyfriend out of her house one day because he was saying that she was being too serious while she was fighting the final boss of Super Mario Galaxy.
That's amazing.
And now she's playing Rosalina of Super Mario Galaxy. If there's anything that says I studied source material like that, that would be the story right there.
Yeah, I think having Rosalina in this movie is, I mean, obviously it's the Galaxy movie, you're gonna have Rosalina in it, but I think like the way she's portrayed in this trailer, I think it says all you need to know about what she's going to be like in this movie. I'm very excited
and overly powerful.
I'm very excited to see how Brie Larson plays her, to be honest. LeRon, did you watch it?
I did, yeah. Yeah, and like Bowser Jr. is my favorite character in the entire like Mario like galaxy. Let's just put it like that. The Mario universe at this point, right?
It's my son's favorite too.
I love that. I love that little rascal. Oh my god! So like seeing him that trailer just made my freaking day. Like it was like the best thing I didn't know I needed today when I saw it that day. I was like, man, like I wasn't really amped for the first Mario movie, and I haven't really seen enough about this to be amped for this movie. But I am more amped for this movie than I was about the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like this one's going to be better for some reason. I have no inkling why. I just feel like they tried to shove too much into the first one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like they did like the whole Mario Kart thing. They did a Smash Brothers thing, right? They had the whole Donkey Kong thing going on. Like, I don't know. I feel like there is a lot going on in that movie where like this feels, at least from the outset, feels more cohesive as a movie. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to see it, but probably won't see it until it comes to some sort of streaming service or whatever. Honestly, because well, I don't like going to the theater. But the other thing that they showed were the still images of the live action Legend of Zelda movie currently filming in New Zealand. The stills feature Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link and Bo Bragason as Zelda in a lush Hyrule-like landscape, accompanied by a message from Miyamoto confirming the film is on track for May 7th, 2027. Their designs appear to be both modern and classic Zelda aesthetics, hinting at the film's tone while leaving fans room to speculate about its story. Together, these reveals mark exciting moments for Nintendo's film projects. I don't know, man. I'm still questioning the Zelda movie.
Me too.
Pat, what do you your mouth is moving. What do you want to say?
I'm saying they look freaking amazing. Like I questioned the two actors when they were not really Zelda. I questioned the guy they got for Link first, but my God, he looks like Link in that picture. You got that wavy blonde hair, the kind of like determined look in the eye, the green tunic, and then you have Zelda that looks kind of like the Breath of the Wild princess pre Calamity. That she's I don't know, I feel really good about who they got now.
What about you, LeRon?
I don't have an opinion about it. I mean, like it's going to okay, you guys think it's going to take me a long time to warm up Metroid Prime 4. It's going to take me a longer time to warm up this. I okay, I have faith in Nintendo on this one because like if Mario's not Nintendo's baby, then it's definitely like Legend of Zelda. That's their baby, right? So I feel like they will not let this be screwed up. But at the same time, I also feel like they should have went all digital movie like they did with the Mario movie.
Yeah,
I think if you have you have movies and shows like Game of Thrones, and if you can put like that kind of effects on it, I think you got yourself a fairly decent movie.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also feel like this is a very big swing for Nintendo.
It is.
It's a big swing that they might not be able to recover from if it's not received well.
That I don't agree with. Nintendo has money.
Nintendo. Okay.
This
Okay.
isn't going to kill them like Final Fantasy killed Square.
I was going to use that comparison. I really was, because like this, all it takes is for this movie to bomb, and then like shareholders start pulling out.
Yeah, but this is a Sony produced movie, not an. I mean, Nintendo's involved, but like,
this
is a Sony first movie.
It's going to affect both of them, though. I mean, Sony's not gonna like, you know, like go all like carefree because they, you know, or you know, Sony's not gonna go carefree because, like, you know, it's a Nintendo property. Just like Nintendo's not gonna go carefree because Sony was the one that published it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that Sony and Nintendo are in bed again is amazing, but it's also strange.
Yeah, it is weird. But also, like, I feel like Nintendo has been very careful. Obviously, they've been careful in the movie and TV space because, like, I mean, the only cartoon they've had in like the last 20 years was like that Kirby show, right? And then like, I feel like they are going to be extra careful because they have to see the feedback from fans, right? Of like fans being worried about them screwing this up, right? So they're going to be. I feel like they're going to be extra careful with this, because Zelda is like their prestige title. You know, like yeah, Mario's their crown jewel, but I mean their prestige title is Zelda. So. And they don't want to screw that up, especially with all the goodwill they've gained from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and, like, you know, the Link's Awakening remake and the current run of games. Like, they don't want to go back to Skyward Sword, where people were like hating every bit of Zelda at that point, right? So, I mean, I know there's some people that liked Skyward Sword, but, like, you know what I mean? Zelda was at its low point at that point. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know. If they can pull up from a game like Triforce Heroes, I think this movie isn't going to be that huge of a deal. Like, if it bombs, they still have the games to work with. And I'm sure Nintendo will do their best to save based on the games. But I really don't think this movie's going to bomb. I think
it'll do well.
Very ridiculous.
Financially, I think it'll do well.
I don't think it's going to bomb either. I am not saying that this movie is going to bomb, but I think Nintendo needs to brace itself for, like, you know, like whatever their projections are versus what they wind up getting.
Yeah. Well,
Nintendo's more the conservative one, though. I feel like they're not the EA and Ubisoft where they say we're going to sell more copies than systems out there. Like, I feel like Nintendo generally has a better idea how to forecast their products.
Well, this is Hollywood we're talking about. This might be a completely different like mindset for them. You know, like they could be thinking thinking something completely different. You know, with this, because this is Hollywood. You know, and not so much. You know, this is not their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to throw the comparison to the Mario movie. Not the 90s Mario movie, the recent one. Because I remember when they announced the cast of the Mario movie and people were like, oh, that's going to suck. Especially when they announced like Chris Pratt was going to be Mario. And the Mario movie turned out to actually be pretty good.
The Mario movie turned out to be pretty good, but I think we're over exaggerating the whole thing, because people, you saying Chris Pratt, that's exactly where a lot of the vitriol came from. Like, it's that bad side of the internet that always like wants to play bad about stuff just because, like, you know, like they don't like this or don't like that. You know, like for all those loud ass voices saying this movie's gonna suck because Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy are in it, you know, stuff like that. You know, like at the same time, there was a dedicated fan base saying like this looks like it's going to be good and we should give it a chance. You know, at the same time, you know, I'm pretty sure like we've got the same thing going on. Actually, I don't know. I haven't really heard a lot of discourse about this upcoming Zelda movie, besides the fact that, why is it not CGI? You know, that's the biggest discourse about it. Why is it not CGI? And that's why people saying it's unsafe for Nintendo. That's really the biggest reason why. Beyond that, it's just I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm about to talk myself in circles here, so I don't. So
what is the one thing that you're worried about? Like the biggest thing you're worried about with this movie?
Me?
Either of you?
I'm not really worried anything right now.
My biggest worry, obviously, is I think is the story, but I still feel like this movie should not have had Link in it. I think it should have focused on Zelda and the rise of Ganondorf, and especially if they're planning on making this a trilogy, which has been thrown around. Like,
who said it's not going to focus on Zelda though? That's
no, I know, but
thing.
I meant like I don't think Link should be in it at all. I think this should have been some sort of like political war movie almost, and then like maybe Link is in the second movie or the last movie or something, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm not saying that because Link's going to talk.
Link is very integral to the plot line, regardless of. I know. I feel like Link needs to be there, even if he's just the guard of Zelda during the entire time. Like, it's hard to have a Legend of Zelda without having some form of Link in it. That's probably why they have the construct in Age of Imprisonment.
Yeah, because the construct in the Age of Imprisonment is clearly the Link stand-in. So I don't know.
I feel like the movie is going to focus on Zelda, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying like Link shouldn't like be an important part of the story. I'm just saying like maybe if you are planning this to be a trilogy, I feel like Link maybe doesn't need to be a part of the first movie. But also in the first Hyrule Warriors, he's a knight, and in Skyward Sword, he's a knight for Zelda, right? And so maybe that's the route they're going, right? Like you said, Pat, it's like he's like her guard or her knight or whatever, her protector while she goes on this adventure.
Champion.
Yeah. Ooh. I see what you did there.
That has implications.
How long until they announce that The Rock is the Goron King guy?
God. Oh God.
You think Ganon's in this movie?
Lovely.
I'm pretty sure Ganon is a part of this.
I'm sure we're gonna have Gerudos or Ganon.
Who's going to be the Gerudos?
You know what? Good question. There was someone did point this out on Twitter, and I reposted it. This would have been the perfect role to have Robin Williams played the King of Hyrule.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And it's like, dude, if he lived long enough, this would be like Nintendo would have had to honorably give him this role.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that would have just. Yeah, I saw that too. I think that would have been amazing, but rip Robin Williams. What a great actor. What a great comedic person.
I do hope they kind of go on the route of kind of hiring the lesser known for this right now. I think just with the surprise that Benjamin and Bo have brought into their characters, I think they could probably pull from a roster of lesser known and get some potential talent for like a Ganondorf or whoever they want, whatever creatures they want to bring in.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait till May 2027 to figure it out.
I'm sure we'll find out sometime in 2026.
I'm
probably get get that cast list going.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's move into this last thing. I have a list here. This is our weekly rotating segment. The listicles section. This list is from Game Informer. This is every single 10 out of 10 game that they released, or that they've given a 10 to, and there's 32 of them. And we're just going to kind of go down the list to see if these games deserved it and how they hold up. Now, we don't need to spend a ton of time on every game, but I think it would be fun to see if these games deserve their 10 out of 10. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to see it, you can just go to their website and see it. Everybody who's watching or listening to this, but
it's the first editorial from November 4th, just in case you need to.
Or just attach it to the show notes.
Wow, everybody just turned into a robot.
Yeah.
That was cool. LeRon is frozen completely. Nope, there he is. He's chewing now. All right. Everybody's back. It's okay. We're fine.
We got Zelda. She'll save us all.
All right. These are in release order. So our first game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Did it deserve a 10 out of 10?
Wait.
What?
Can't comment.
What?
Is that the first? Oh, yeah.
That's the first game.
I was just looking.
Scroll down, bro.
I was looking at the pictures, and the first thing I saw was not Tony Hawk.
No, it's Mario 64 and Super Mario World, which didn't get 10 out of 10s from Game Informer.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to the action. Okay.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Mario World didn't even exist then.
Does it deserve 10 out of 10?
No comment. Never played it.
I love Tony Hawk 2.
I played it.
I think I played it on the Dreamcast.
I think it's a high 9.
Yeah. I think the game gets extremely repetitive, right? Especially because you have to unlock everything with every character. You can't just play through the game and then apply it to everybody else. But I definitely say at least a high 9. I love Tony Hawk 2. It's one of my favorite games of all time. But I don't know. I think a 10 is very... I don't know. I'm trying to think back of that time too, though, right? Because
a 10 is very generous.
Yeah, because even sports games were getting super high scores back then, right? Madden was getting 9.5s out of 10 back then too. So Tony Hawk 2 was definitely highly anticipated, though. I don't know. I would definitely agree with you, though, LeRon. I think it's high 9.
Yeah. I think it's a high 9, even given the fact that it is a PS1 game. I think it's a high 9.
Yeah. Game number 2 is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty.
I will say yes. It's worth a 10. Story aside, this game introduced a heck of a lot of really cool things, and it was so graphically impressive as a PS2 game.
I agree.
I never played it.
I'm glad Pat spoke first, because if I'd spoken as fast as I wanted to speak, people would have been like, "Oh, he's biased."
I mean, it is you, LeRon.
Yeah, but I agree. In terms of story, though, it's I wish it focused on Snake, but the rest of the game was impressive.
I never played it, but I know it's a lot of people's favorite game in the series, so I will yield to you. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I think the soundtrack alone gives it a 10 out of 10. That soundtrack is amazing, but the game was that trilogy of games was revolutionary. I don't know if it deserves a 10 out of 10. I definitely remember the combat not being very good. I definitely remember the driving feeling really floaty. But I think it did a lot for open world games specifically. So
I can understand why at that particular time it got a 10 from Game Informer, but I think it's a high 9 as well. Like it definitely fixed a few things that was wrong with Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah. Oh
but,
yeah. I mean,
anything, I still feel like at that point it was more of the same. It was wash, rinse, repeat as far as these games. Like I feel like Grand Theft Auto 4 is when like it's hard to say because the identity of Grand Theft Auto is basically rooted in Grand Theft Auto 3, and what it did for the franchise and stuff like that. But I think Grand Theft Auto 4 is where this franchise like actually got its real legs and it became a cultural monster.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with San Andreas is where it got its biggest legs. And with that, I would say Grand Theft Auto City Vice was a good game, but it was not a 10 for me.
Yeah, it's a high 9.
It was probably my least favorite. I'd say it was an 8.
I would say it's probably a 9-ish would be what I would throw at it, especially at the time. But I don't think it was a 10. So let's go to this next game. LeRon, I'll let you pitch this first. Metroid Fusion.
Oh man! All right, this is coming off the heels of Metroid Zero Mission. It's a high 9 for me.
Man, Zero Mission was so good though.
There's so much nostalgia that there's a reason why when we had that test stream, the test live stream, I picked Zero Mission that night that we went live and did a live like let's play. There's a reason why Metroid Fusion is amazing. It was a shot in the arm that was needed because here's a fun fact. Metroid Fusion released on the same day in Japan that Metroid Prime released in the US and the UK. Or did I get that backwards? No. I got it right.
I think you're
right. Fusion released the same day as Prime, but over in Japan. But yeah, this game was great. Like it introduced Adam Malkovich, which of course we all know. Like like we got more lore. Like we actually had real moving words on the screen. At that point. And yeah, Fusion did some things like it's one of the GOATs, but when you stack it up against Zero Mission. And the fact that Zero Mission not only hit you in this nostalgia, can we say Metroid Zero Mission was probably one of the first remakes ever of a game? Can we say that?
I mean, Mario All-Stars and Ninja Gaiden collection on Super Nintendo.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. I feel like those are glossy ports. But yeah. 9.5 out of 10 for me. I say high 9. I should give it a value 9.5 out of 10. Like I'm not doing 0.25s or 0.75s. Like 9.5 out of 10.
What about you, Pat?
I give it a 10. I liked it. It was a good follow-up to Metroid Prime, or not Metro. It was a good follow-up to Super Metroid, and I liked how the areas were all elementally themed.
I definitely liked it when I played it. I would probably say somewhere in the 9s because I think Metroid Zero Mission is better because of nostalgia. Because I suck apparently. I think
I will say Zero Mission had the worst speed spark challenges. I hated those.
Fair.
Zero Mission Zero Mission had the worst?
Zero Mission had the worst speed spark challenges. They were like literally you had to go through like several different rooms trying to keep that speed spark to get some of those items. and I hated that.
Okay.
Like pixel perfect stop and go motion.
Okay, I feel you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
This is why everybody's good at shine sparking though in Metroid Dread though. This is why everybody is good at that shit.
It's true.
That was easier.
It's true. All right. Our next game is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. I don't think it deserves a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like an 8.5.
No. The last half of the game was kind of rough, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I would say 8.5. I mean the HD version was better, but I still wouldn't, even if you included the HD version in this, I don't think I would give it a 10.
Yeah, I agree with you on the 8.5.
Yeah. It was great. The art
I
style
really
was
like
great.
the style though. Yeah.
Oh, the style was amazing.
Toon Link is probably one of my favorite links.
Yeah. But you know, where's that Wind Waker HD port to switch to? I want to unplug my Wii U, please.
I am so tired of you teasing me about that, Corey. I am so tired.
I
Keep saying it until it happens.
I literally only have my Wii U plugged in for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD. That's it. Literally it. All right. I don't know if this even count. I don't even know if this should even count. Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City double pack for the Xbox.
It should not count. It should not count. Let's disqualify that one.
Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal.
Ooh, Up Your Arsenal.
I don't remember this one.
I vaguely remember it.
I think this was the third one.
Yeah, if Game Informer gave it a 10, I think I'll agree with it. I don't remember a lot about this one. If I'm being honest with you, I was a Jack and Daxter person back when Up Your Arsenal was out. So I didn't really play. I played some of Up Your Arsenal, in the collected edition, but I didn't become Team Ratchet and Clank until Ratchet and Clank on PS4 dropped.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I sit too. I wasn't too familiar with the Ratchet and Clank series. I know people loved these games, so I can't say whether this was a 10 or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely didn't play Ratchet and Clank. I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game, so I couldn't tell you. I was definitely a Jack and Daxter person as well.
Ratchet and Clank is fun. I will say that. Especially modern Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it was a game I wanted to get to on PlayStation 5, but I never got to it. And then my PlayStation died and I got rid of it. So the next game on here is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Pat already said that was a 10 for him, right?
That's a 10.
I definitely think it was the best out of that trilogy of games. I think that I think the eating mechanic and the lifting mechanic was a little bit too much. Like the workout mechanic, it's a little bit too much on that game.
But I want to say high 9, but I think I'll agree with you guys on 10 because as far as the trilogy went for that line of Grand Theft Auto, this was probably the best one. I mean, just for the simple fact alone, there was people out there trying to do hot coffee.
Oh God, yeah. Hot coffee. I forgot all about that.
Hot coffee, like no sugar, no cream.
I still got my original copy that you can't sell because it's rated A now.
Oh, well.
What was about that one that made it rated A though? Like what made them
scene?
That was where the hot coffee data was.
Yeah.
The data was okay. Yeah, you had to do some radical stuff. Okay.
Radical stuff, he says. All right. The next game, Halo 2. Oh man, Halo 2 was really good.
Was it?
I don't know if it was 10 out of 10 good though.
Compared to Halo though, was it a 10?
I think 3 is better than 2 in my opinion. But 2 The other thing too, though, is that 2 ended abruptly. Like it just ends. You know, it didn't wrap up. I feel like this game got a 10 out of 10 because the multiplayer was so great. Honestly, like the campaign was good, but like I really feel like the multiplayer is what pushed it over the edge to a 10. I would say like a 9. I think Halo 3 is better if we're looking at the Bungie trilogy of games. I would say like a 9. I wouldn't argue against a 10, but I think it's more of a 9 in my opinion. So, any thoughts from either of you on Halo 2?
I'm not gonna argue with that. Like Halo 2 definitely was it was an event. Let's put it that way. I was working at GameStop at the time, so yeah, it was an event. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it actually lived up to its expectation.
That was the first collector's edition I ever bought.
Oh, really?
Yep. I still have my Steelbook. It was in a fire and it's like totally shredded and burned, but I still have it.
Oh man.
It survived. So that's something, right? Way to bring it down. Resident Evil 4.
No. Not a 10 to me.
9.5.
Yeah, this was at a time too when like I feel like they were just figuring out what to do with like the camera controls, right? With the right stick. You know, like Halo proved that you could do it that way, and then Capcom didn't do it that way. Plus, like shooting without moving and the inverted controls were not to my liking. But I do think the remake though is very good.
Also a 9.5 out of 10 in my book. And no, I'm not using any type of bias when I say this. Like I think the goated Resident Evil will always be 2. In whatever iteration you want to take it in.
God of War, the first one. For PS2. A 10 out of 10.
I'd say 9.
9.
I would say a 8, 5, 9. 2 I think would be a 10. 2 is a 10 in my opinion.
2 is a 10. 2 is a 10 for real.
2 is a 10.
I would argue 3 is also a 10, but
yeah, 3 is also a 10.
Good.
3 is also a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's on this list or not, but we'll get there.
Yeah, my thing is like, you know, like God of War gets merit though because like it did something new with the Devil May Cry formula.
Mm-hmm. It did do that.
Mm-hmm.
The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess.
Perfect 10.
I've never played it, so I can't really.
As one of my favorite games of all time, I would argue on any given day it might be my favorite game of all time. It's a game that means a lot to me, just in life. But even though the dungeons are like the best dungeons in the Zelda series, I feel like by far there's a lot of filler in that game. There is a lot of filler. I would say it's probably a 9. I think the end kind of drags on a little bit also. But yeah, I don't know. I would say it was a 9. GameCube version's better than the Wii version. They did fix a lot of stuff in the HD version, though. All right. BioShock.
I'll agree. BioShock was a 10.
10.
I have no opinion on BioShock. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
10.
Yeah,
10.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I liked the campaign a lot. I played a lot of that multiplayer also. And that came out at a time right when it came out like 2 months after Halo 3, and everybody was like floored at how much deeper it was than Halo 3. in terms of progression and stuff. Grand Theft Auto 4.
You know what? I'm not gonna backtrack what I said earlier. This is a 10.
Oh, it's a 10.
I'm not gonna backtrack with it because I mean, like, I would look foolish if I turned around and said what I said about Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah. I would say it's like an 8.5 for me. I think the game doesn't control very well. But that's just my opinion, I guess. Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots.
No, this is a 9.5. No, this is a 9.
I've never played it, so I can't tell you.
Played it.
This is a wait. Did you say you never played it, Pat?
No.
Okay, as a Metal Gear Solid fan, this game was way too complicated for what it needed to be. And I'm not, and people are thinking like, people are probably scratching their heads when I say that. Like, there was a lot going on in this game, and it's hard for me to really quantify it. But Kojima had one job here, and that was to end to like finish the story of Dave Solid Snake, that guy, which he did. But it was so complicated because like he was trying. It was basically a whole thing of like you had to play like Metal Gear from the MSX, and I say the MSX specifically because there was things that was specifically in the MSX version of Metal Gear that was not in the NES version of Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it was one of those things where like I know this is, in my opinion, Metal Gear Solid 4 is like Kojima's grand opus for the Metal Gear series, but
yeah,
this is a 9. I mean, the people giving, because Game Informer is not the only magazine or outlet that gave it a 10. Like, I think there was way too much honorary like stuff going on for this game.
Yeah, this definitely felt like almost like when a new Zelda comes out, everybody gives it a 10 just because it's Zelda, right? Like this feels like Metal Gear gets a 10 because it's Metal Gear.
I mean, I can tell you alone because GameStop was getting all the early previews and stuff like for this game. Like everybody got nerd boners when they saw Ninja Raiden. Everybody got nerd boners immediately. They're like, I don't care what's going on in this game, I'm buying it.
All right, so 17. Uncharted 2. It's definitely the best Uncharted game.
I agree, but a 10?
I would say like a 9. It's a
9.5. It's a 9.5.
I would say like a 9.
Good. It's a 10.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pat says it's a 10.
I say it's a 10.
This was the start of Uncharted games being way too long. This was a start, and that's not a complaint. If you want to hear a complaint about a long Uncharted game, talk to Ed. he will give you the rundown on a long Uncharted game.
Yeah. God of War 3 we already talked about. That's a 10. God of War 3 is a 10. God of War 3 is amazing. StarCraft 2, I didn't play it.
You know what? If we look at the entire package, like technically there were supposed to be 3 campaigns. If we look at the entire package of the 2 campaigns, it's a 10. If you put it all together, because StarCraft 2 and when they reviewed it, no, that's a 9.
Yeah. I never played it, so I can't tell. Any thoughts, Pat, before we move on? Let's fly through the rest of these because
Batman I would say is probably a 10.
Arkham City, make sure you say that. Arkham City, that's a 10.
Yeah. Batman Arkham City is very good. Skyward Sword, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is not a 10.
That is an 8 at best as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It was okay. Not a 10.
Mass Effect 3.
9.5.
Oh man,
9.
Mass Effect 3 is amazing. I would probably say
Mass Effect 3 is amazing, but not 10. Not 10 amazing.
Bioshock BioShock Infinite.
9.
9.
I have no opinion. I did not play it. A Link Between Worlds. The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds.
10.
They gave this a 10? They gave this a 10?
Yeah. I think that game's amazing.
I think it's a high.
It's freaking phenomenal.
I say high 9, but you know what? If you guys have consensus, I will say it's a 10. I enjoyed it, but I feel like it didn't scratch my itch of whatchamacallit, Link to the Past. It didn't scratch my itch. It came close, but it didn't scratch my itch.
The Last of Us Remastered.
They gave the remaster.
I give it a 10.
They gave the remastered a 10.
Yeah.
The remaster, the PS4 one.
Yeah, the PS4 one. I will give it a 10 also because I give the original a 10.
Okay.
Overwatch.
Woo.
Never played it.
Woo.
I would say Overwatch, especially when it came out, was a 10. That game was amazing.
Overwatch revolutionized what these team shooters are all about.
Yeah. I would say Overwatch is a
10. 10.
The Legend of Zelda.
Go. I don't need. We got.
Ron, we have 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is a 10, in my opinion.
If you say so.
I'd give it a 9.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
10.
That is a 10.
That's a 10. That's probably the 10 of this entire list.
The Last of Us Part 2.
8.5, maybe a 9. Maybe.
High 9.
I feel like the
You
biggest
say high
complaint
9?
about that game is it's too long. Elden Ring.
Ooh. This should be a 10 on principle, but I feel it's a 9.5.
It's not a 10 to me.
Astrobot.
Yes.
Pat was waiting for this moment all night. It's
perfect.
It's a
11.
Wow.
Best game on this list.
Jeez.
We have one more game.
Hades 2 is the last game on this list.
I don't know if it's a 10. I haven't even played it. That's the sad part. I think Hades was a 10. Which Hades wasn't even on this list.
Yeah.
It's a well-made game, but it's not a 10 to me.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, everybody. We went through this whole list, and now we're going to go to bed. Everybody out there, I want to thank you guys for watching or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can catch us live every week. We might be moving the show to Wednesday nights instead of Tuesday nights. TBD on that. We will let you know. LeRon, Pat, thank you for your time as always. Everybody out there, thank you for subscribing to YouTube and getting us to the 1K subscribers. Tell your friends. The next step is 10K. So chop. Everybody out there, wherever you watch or listen, remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Have a wonderful one.
Later.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.